Hey guys, just cruising home, and this is after work, so apologise if the lighting's not that good, but it's been on my mind, and I know me, because I've been thinking about this for the past 15 minutes or so. If I waited another half an hour until I got home, or 40 minutes, I probably may have slipped my mind by then. But one thing we need to keep in mind is, let's just call them toxic people, because, you know, we call them narcissists and borderlines and all this, gang stalkers, you know, when they're working together as a group. You know, because imagine, look at it this way. You know, these independent people that can take care of themselves and aren't afraid to speak up against evil or, you know, bad things happening when they see it, like, you know, bad stuff. That's pretty much what got me targeted. Was I was independent, you know, I didn't really need anyone else for my day-to-day stuff, and if I saw evil things, I used to speak up about it. And now I put the pieces of the puzzle together, that because I used to speak up about it, and even when there'll be like some people say, oh, you know, side with us, even though it was like clearly wrong, I wouldn't side with them, and I used to speak up against them. But in recent years, probably the past couple of years or so, it's just been, no, you guys go do your thing. I don't agree with what you're doing, but, you know, and then I would go talk to the person that they were talking about and had plans for, to, you know, get fired or to set up or whatever, and I just say, hey, look, you know, just stay away from these guys and just work hard and do your job and just focus on that, and, you know, don't open up to these people, because this is what they've been saying. So just, you know, keep it shut around them. Keep, you know, if all the stuff that they don't know about you, they've proven with their actions by, you know, talking to me or whoever else or whatever, when I was new in the work environment. Because once I had been there for a month or so, no one spread gossip with me in any place after I'd been there for like a month or so, because, or, you know, a couple of months, because I didn't go along with it. You know, so you might have different people in your life or whatever and all this other stuff. I'm talking, this is just what I've seen before, but in various situations. So it's no specific situation. Sometimes toxic people can give you a break from all that trying to talk down to you, and then they might say, oh, you did this and you did that. You should be satisfied with your life. And now there's a difference between pursuing to be better and, you know, being ungrateful and hating yourself for your mistakes and stuff. There's a big difference between the two. And they think that, oh, well, he doesn't hate himself or ungrateful for where he's at, but, you know, you're trying to better yourself, and so they'll try and calm you down by saying, well, shouldn't you be satisfied? Why are you trying to better yourself? And then they might even say, oh, you know, this whole group of people, like this, you know, whatever group of people might be, says, you know, and you were one of them because you were working with them, or you were playing sports or whatever, and then this was before you realised who they were, but they don't say that. And then you went your own ways trying to better your life. They come along trying to say you should be satisfied, and then they say, I say I am satisfied. I'm grateful for what I have. Or something, you might say something like that. But I still believe that we can do better. So then they'll twist that and say you're ungrateful, all this type of stuff. What's wrong with you? Don't you realise you don't deserve this? You don't deserve that. None of us deserve it. Then they indirectly announce the fact that they think they're not good enough for it, because they'll start saying, we've been talking to these other people in this sports team, or these other people in this work environment, or whatever the place is, and we reckon that we don't deserve to have better, and we don't deserve to have this and that. So what makes you so special to think that you deserve better and this and that? And it's like, well, one, I don't deserve it, I'm working for it, so it's not like handed to me on a platter. You're like that. I don't want to have it handed on a platter even. Just things like that. And we don't expect things to be handed on the platter. We expect to earn it. But at the same time, even though we might be a bit happier, or a lot happier than some of those people. Now, gladly, I don't have to deal with any of these people with my current work environment. And yeah. So you've been working with us, or you played sports with us back in the days. You were in the same team when you were a teenager, and we played in the same level, even when I decided to go to another team or whatever. But now, you're not playing in the same competition anymore. You're playing in the higher one. You should be satisfied. Why are you still trying to better yourself now that you're there? And they're still where you were. In sports. Well, it can be anywhere. It can translate to anything. And I've had plenty of people. One person recently. Just one. But I've had heaps of people throughout my past keep saying that. Even when I was unemployed, they'll be saying, you should be lucky, you should be happy and satisfied. You're here in New Zealand, you're in the Western world, you're not in the third world nation. Why are you not satisfied? Get a full-time job. Some of those ones that, because I didn't really, I'm a lot more thoughtful now about, because when I was growing up, there's abuse and stuff, but people say, oh, this and that happens in lower income families, like abuse and all these different things, because it's of stress. And I used to say, well, they got a lot less money, but all that abuse is still happening in my house, but they just have a lot more money. And I came to the conclusion that, it must be just lies, and it must be people who get to work out. And I thought the lower income communities would have way more support for each other. So even though you got lesser money, you got a real tight-knit community where everyone supports and cares for each other. So it's the place to be. I grew up and ended up in one of them, and it was not the case. Nah. But it's alright. But this mentality can be translated into many areas, just any area of life. Like, you try and better yourself, and there's other people trying to just stop you. There's been heaps of examples, and some examples came to mind. I found the temptation to give the personal examples right there, but that's, nah. And that's from years ago anyway, so, let's not put that information out there just in case there's a couple of wolves, basically like bad wolves, like enemy of the enemy pack. Because you imagine, that's how we are. You imagine if we came together as a team, you know what I'm saying, and they're doing their thing as a team, trying to hold us down. But man, imagine us as a team versus them. Not versus them, but but just going about our lives and all this type of stuff. And they do their loser pack thing. Okay, well, since you've gone out of your way to hassle me, and there's 7 or 8 of you, or whatever number it is, I got a couple of buddies too to support me, and they're badasses just like I am, so sorry boys. That'll be the end of that. You can come, they can get the one-on-one take down by them trying to just stop you progressing, and you don't allow that to happen. So that's an ego bust for them, a big a nail in the confidence, because they got none. So they think, if I can stop this person from trying to better themselves and make me feel better, give me confidence in that, and then you bust that source of confidence, which is a negative one. And so we'll just harass them with like a whole group of people doing the same stuff, because I used to think, oh yeah, they're gonna come kill me, but it's been years and nothing has happened. Nothing's happened. No, I never did anything criminal anyway. I just had a lot of threats, and a lot of mouth going. And I thought, eventually, over time, I started thinking, well, they keep saying this type of stuff. This is back in that other place. Maybe what if it happens? But it never did. It was all talk. But, just saying, like, they can try and do that ego thing by try and strip away our confidence, because they don't have any, by doing all that shit talk. And then imagine the solid ones, the ones who stay true to who they are, and even though whatever level of talent or whatever understanding they are, they're always trying to better themselves in certain ways. They're always trying to better themselves against these guys, and it won't be 1 on 8, even though we're used to doing that. Imagine if it was 8 of us versus 8 of them. It wouldn't happen, because they'd try and but it's all talk anyway. It's all talk, like, it's all, because I keep keep your heads up, guys. I just realised it's really, really dark on the phone, because it's night time here. It's it's after work, because I finished work at 5 o'clock at night. It's about 5:30 now, because I walked around doing some things. Alright, just thought I'd say that. It's had random. I've had lots of relatives in the past, like when I remember when I was first got my first full-time job, they were telling me to be satisfied and to not push for anything better. That was back in a place where I was in I ended up being in a department when I was the only one that had no affiliations to any gang in that one department. Then there was other departments and that wasn't the case, but I wasn't satisfied with that, and then because of those reasons, and then I ended up in a good safe environment, and now we're in this environment where it's a totally different caliber of people. It's way better. Don't have to deal with all that rubbish, and you guys just keep bettering yourselves, These other losers who try to do that talk and threats and stuff, they might just try and be nice, and then the nicest version they can be is, you know what, you've achieved this and this and this and this, you should be satisfied. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm grateful for where I've come, and I'm happy with my life, and I'm continuing to better myself. Whoa, what are you continuing to better yourself for? Aren't you satisfied? Are you ungrateful? I said, you can just turn around and say, I never said I was ungrateful. I'm very grateful for what I've achieved, and I'm happy with my life, but I also know that I can do even better. Alright guys, see you, bye bye.